I think this looks good. It's good work.
Hey, what's up?
So I think I found a good one.
What do you think the profit's going to be on it?
Profit looks really good. I think it'll work. You interested?
You think it could be a potential partnership?
Sure, we can definitely do a partnership.
Okay, well, let me know.
Okay, cool. I'll send you some more details.
Thanks.
Hey, what's up everybody? So before I get started, I'd like to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel and liking the content and leaving comments. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now and also the bell notification so you can be updated about content that will help you achieve your goals in real estate. But for now, let's get back to today's topic. So what should happen when you find a good deal that could be a potential moneymaker and you share it with someone in hopes of forming a partnership? Let's talk through this and make sure that your first or next partnership ends up going in the correct direction. So many times I've heard the cliche, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. For those that have thought through what a partnership on a real estate investment should look like, that could be the best move. It will allow you to pool your resources and capabilities that can help create a repeatable process for investing in real estate. So to ensure that you get off on the right foot, let's talk about the steps to forming a successful partnership. So the first thing we're going to cover today is partnership equity. What do I mean by this? Well, this is what you're bringing to the table that's going to make the partnership successful. Do you have a mountain of cash? Have you done investments before? Do you have skills or connections that will make getting a construction project to the finish line easy? Identify the items that you bring to the table. Make sure that you and your partner are in agreement on those things that you're going to deliver. Partnership can be very much like dating. You or your partner may try to impress one another by overstating your ability to deliver and not being realistic about your current situation. Be sure that you identify to each other what you expect to participate in the partnership. And also be willing to show examples of where this has happened before so that your partner will feel comfortable with what you've done. Many times fools rush in to make a deal happen by being focused solely on the profit, but not understanding how they're going to get the party started. So be upfront about what you have to offer so that you can quantify what that's worth in the partnership. All right, so the next thing we're going to cover is going to be partnership structure. When you're ready to partner up on a deal or deals, you should create an entity that will allow you to transact together to put your resources under one umbrella. I'm sure the reasoning for this is obvious. I'll elaborate to make sure we're clear. The first thing about creating a structure is in relation to creating a legal entity in which you can acquire property under. This allows the visibility of all partners so that in success or failure, the world knows who's behind the wheel. Another item to consider is a partnership agreement. This will be the document that explains how you plan to operate the business and how resources were allocated to start the business. This document should also state the amount of equity each partner has and their responsibilities. It should also state what happens if a partner is unable to perform their duties or if there's an issue that arises that affects the partnership. Case in point. So if you have a project that requires extra cash and one partner doesn't have the additional resources, how is this resolved? Will one partner assume the risk of injecting more cash on behalf of the partnership with the expectation of getting more profit at the end? That's one thing you have to consider. Finally, think through the types of accounts you'll need to establish to get your projects completed. If you open credit accounts, be sure that you have access to the billing statements and agree on how to ensure all debts are paid. In addition, you may want to outline who can sign checks or handle account activity with respect to your bank accounts. All of these things are very important, so keep in mind that the structure of the entity should outline how you work together and how you handle situations when things aren't working smoothly. Having these conversations may feel negative in the beginning, but it's better to have it figured out before there's trouble in paradise. All right, so now let's cover deal evaluation. This is an important one also. You should try to focus on deals that are in your respective wheelhouses. That means if you're both flippers, don't try to build a mall together or a high rise. Stick to what makes sense for you, and then you grow together. In addition, make sure you're on the same page in terms of the types of deals and the return for those deals that you should expect. Also think about the amount of work and time you'll put into these investments. All this should be determined before you enter into a deal. This keeps you grounded with a solid understanding of what you're looking for and how you'll get the deal done. The worst thing that could happen is that you get into a deal and one partner deviates from the plan by not building the code or using cheap materials or even over improving the property. As long as you know what your deal will net, you should stick to that plan unless you both agree there could be more meat on the bone if you deviate. But all this should be backed by sound research and not pie in the sky hopes. So the next thing we're going to cover is taxation. This is another item you should figure out before you close on a deal. You want to determine how you're going to pay the taxes on your profit. Also, it might be great to have an accountant put together a plan that shows you how you're going to handle that so that you don't end up with a huge tax bill once the project's done. I won't go any further because the type of entity you form will dictate the type of taxation on your revenue. All right, so finally, let's talk about ending the partnership. Hopefully, you'll achieve a level of success together that you'll want to keep going after the first deal. If that isn't the case, or you were in it for only one project, you'll need to determine how the partnership will be dissolved. One step to think through is how long the entity should be kept active, because in some situations, your construction work will need to be warrantied for a period of time. It might be wise to keep the entity alive long enough to ensure that all of your warranty periods have expired. This keeps you and your personal assets safe because of the umbrella that the entity creates for you. This is yet another reason to ensure that you select the correct type of entity for your partnership. And then also think about closing out any bank or credit accounts that you've created to ensure that inactive or negative activity doesn't come back to haunt you. Whew, I know this may seem like a lot, but it'll help you get through or in and out of a partnership without hassle or needing mediation to come to an agreement. The big thing here is that your partnership should allow you to make magic happen in real estate, but not leave one of you with a bitter taste in your mouth. If this info was helpful, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more videos like this one to help you find success in real estate. But until then, thanks for stopping by, and I'll chat with you soon. Stay safe.